Welcome, welcome! It's that magic time on Tuesdays where we go into your homes all the way from our home. Hope everybody's doing good. Today we're doing Christmas in July, in case you haven't looked out and noticed how the snow is all over the ground. I think it's the hottest temperatures in Canada and the Northwest. We won't even go there. But anyway, Christmas in July. So my goal tonight was a couple things. Number one, obviously stuff you could wear at the holidays. And then you start thinking, okay, what stuff I could wear at the holidays? And so we'll tell you what that is. But also, I wanted to do them easy and simple and really quick. There's some things I'm going to say make a blazer to go with this, but you got plenty of time to do it. But this is a good time to start the holiday because you guys know when you get to the holidays, you're too busy doing a bunch of stuff for everybody else. So Christmas in July, Christmas sewing in July is maybe what we should have done. Christmas sewing for us in July. But we got some simple stuff. You might even want to make it as gifts. Anyway, I had a lot of fun. I'm not sure if that matters. I hope you do. But I did have a customer come in the store last week. And she was excited because she had made several new tops that week. And we were just talking about sewing and how much fun it was. So my goal is to really help you get the spirit of how fun sewing is. And all of these things I've done, you guys are just really simple. Like not even 2 hours. You can do this. And it just can be really fun. All right, so where do we start? Where do we start the holidays? And I decided that we start with a holiday blouse. Just a little blouse. Simple little blouse. And since wrap blouses are so popular, we decided we would do a wrap blouse. And also what's really popular with wrap blouses is that there's different fabrics. So what I did on this one, and we'll zoom in so you can see everything. We'll start with pattern. It's pattern number 650. It's called the No Gap Wrap. Its fabric number is 4105. It's the front, it's a sheer. And then the back and the sleeves I did a knit. And I did all that because, again, I wanted just to keep it simple. And so the knit is 4513. So with the holidays, when we do a simple little blouse, we just wanted to have a little sparkle. Just a little fun. And like I said, I left off the collar. And that was easy to do. The front still has 2 layers. Stitched to the side. Isn't that beautiful little wrap blouse? It's just lovely. Just a lovely little wrap blouse. Black. I could wear it tomorrow with a pair of jeans. But if I wanted to wear it around holiday time, I could just dress it up with the pants. Maybe a little jewelry. You could just add some sparkle to it. I think holiday dressing really goes all year round. Some of it, not all of it, but some of it. And so this is one that really would go all year round. So it's got a woven front, it's got a knit back, and knit sleeves. So I used my knit armhole, and it was just a piece of cake to make, and really fun. Really fun. Okay? So blouses are just really popular right now. They're beautiful. Just a beautiful little blouse. I think that's a great way to start the holidays. And let me know if you have any questions. Okay? Okay. Then, where we go is we're going to look at this first photo. And it's just really fun to have sparkly little skirts. Sparkly little skirts. They're just fun, and you can see they can be this is not something you'd wear except at the holidays. Most likely you wouldn't wear a sparkly skirt in June. We're just July. We're just going to assume that. But you can see this isn't immodest. You could even do it, less tight. But what I did want you to notice about this is it's gathered at the waist and narrow at the bottom. And that becomes a yoga skirt. Before we look at how to do this, because I did the pattern work for you, is I want to talk about tops that would go with a skirt like this, because we've got some that are just incredible. So I want you to think 915, Hugo's cardigan. I want you to think 98, Fifth Avenue cape. And I want you to think 83, which is the one-piece wrap. These are really, all three of those are awesome tops, jackets, capes, whatever you want to call them. 201 is another one that would work well with a skirt. So take note of those, kind of take them down. 220 is another one. See her top, how kind of loose and flowy that is? 220 is Brunella's sweater. Would give you a very similar effect. Okay? So easy peasy. I love that. All right, so let's look at how to do the yoga skirt. Yoga skirt is pattern 2010. I don't have it here because I didn't actually make this one. But I just wanted you to see that you do the same thing to the front and the back. There's only 2 pieces on the yoga skirt. And so what you know about the yoga skirt is that it's flared at the bottom. And so all I'm going to do is preserve the center, and I'm going to take a French curve and curve in and make those new lines. And those are my new side seams. And you can see I just made a note that you want the hem to be 4 inches smaller than the hip line. Okay, and that's going to give you what you just saw in that previous one. It's going to kind of give you a pegged look. The waist can still be gathered, can still be eased in. You can still pull it on over your, hips. Very simple to do. The sequins just make it so fun. You pair it with a little pair of boots, pair of tights, and it's just a really fun, really simple holiday look. We've got some really fun stretch sequins, and that's what you want to use. Or it's easier. If you don't use the stretch sequins, you got to put in a zipper, but it's much easier with the stretch sequins. I heard a comic the other day said he actually had to put in a pair. He had to actually put on a pair of pants because COVID is kind of winding down, and he had to put on a pair of pants. In fact, he clarified that he had to put on a pair of pants that had a zipper in them. And I thought that was kind of cute. We're all kind of in that stage. We actually have to put on some clothes again. All right, so let's go to the next one. So great skirt. So here I wanted you to see really what I want to do. I'm trying to kind of get you to see what base pattern you can use and kind of how you can make changes, because over the next few months, holiday is going to start to arrive. And the reason we got those fabrics we did at the prices we did, which were really ridiculously low, is simply because the holiday from the designers in New York has already been cut and sewn, and most likely is being shipped in the next week or so, and will be in the stores, in the next month. So great price on those fabrics. That's pretty much all we have. It's pretty much all I was able to get. And so it was just, the fabrics were extraordinarily beautiful. I didn't get a lot of sequins, so I didn't want to make up a sequin skirt because I would steal your sequins. And I have a lovely sequin skirt that I wear, and I use it. Okay, do you need to line a sequin skirt? No, not just because. Like a lot of the backing of the lining, I actually did this halter, and the back of the lining, it's completely covered with sequins. This top is, and the back is just regular fabric. It's just got thread all over it from sewing on the sequins. So it's your call. It's kind of your call whether you want to or not, but you don't need to for any reason other than just because you want to. I think it's the best reason. What kind of hem would you use on the sequin skirt? I used a hem here. We'll take a look at this. I don't know if Brett can get this close in. This is a sequin top. I did a little halter top, and I don't know if you can see there's sequins all over it. So let's keep coming in. We're always worried that our camera will do something funky when we, yeah, there you go. So see, what I did is I just turned it up and top stitched, and I top stitched right through those sequins. And you usually can. The sequins are, the sequins are just plastic. Your needle will go, I mean, if it's decent fabric, your needle will go right through them. Almost every one I had, I kind of tested. I just was curious, and none of them gave me any issues. I broke a needle on this one But it was a serger needle that I broke, not a sewing machine needle. The sewing machine actually handled it really well. The serger, I broke the right needle. On the yoga skirt, you take 4 inches off on each side or total? No, I didn't say take 4 inches off. I said that when you draw, let's just go back and repeat. First off, and this is good to clarify it anyway, so I appreciate your questions. You have your panel. You want to take from the middle of the waist and draw a line perpendicular to the hip line, because you want to get back to kind of where the dart was, because you want to center the hem over the dart. Okay, so then what you're going to do is decide how many inches you want this circumference to be. You're styling this, so typically if you, for instance, measure your hip, you're going to want the hem to be 4 inches narrower. That's where the 4 inches comes in. The hem is 4 inches narrower than the hip. The hem circumference is 4 inches narrower than the hip circumference. So no matter what size you are, your hem, if it's 4 inches less, then it's a real nice ratio, and you have a tendency to look thinner. It's a pegged skirt. Okay? Hope that clarifies. Okay. And always do a mock-up, you guys. Especially sequins. Sequins, they're either real expensive, and I know ours are not expensive, but still they're limited. We just don't have endless supply of these sequin fabrics. So you really want to kind of throw together a muslin and a similar fabric, similar stretch, and just see how you like it, style-wise. Okay? Okay. All right, so this was the black. That's right, I forgot where we were. This was the black. All right, so what I wanted you to see, and actually the top I made was this one right here. This is Terry's top. This is 313. So 313 is Terry's top. That is, I just love this top. I think that when we decided to not print it anymore, that was a hard decision for me, because I felt like you all didn't understand what a great base this was. So it is one of the 2 PBS patterns that we're offering right now for that special price. But this top is just, it's a home run. It is such a great base. It's a V-neck. It's a little shawl collar, but what that means is it's not like a shawl collar that flips over. It's a shawl collar that's narrow enough that it goes under everything, under jackets, under everything. It's just an amazing little top. It's got a center front seam, that V-neck, it's got a facing inside. I did have somebody come into the store on Saturday, and they said that they didn't like where the facing ended. And so just, add 2 inches to the bottom. Just add some more so that it comes, on different people it might be different. But anyway, just add a little bit of length to the front facing. Makes kind of a little lining on the inside. It goes all the way to the armhole. And let's come in close on that if you can too. See, so what I want you to see is this beautiful V-neck. You can see there's just a little bit of shawl collar right here. And it's just beautiful. It really is just a great little top. So it should be your, a lot of times we have tank tops as our base. This could absolutely equal a tank top because it's a V-neck as opposed to the rounded neck tank top. And then obviously this is the one I used to create the V-neck little top that she had on the black top. And I showed in this picture here, anytime we're looking to add seams, we're just going to cut. It's not, they're design lines, they're not fitting lines. So we're just going to cut, add seam allowance, sew back together. And clearly when you're doing that, you really want to do a sample. I drew an imaginary line. It kind of went from the neck edge over to here. It's fun to use the fabrics. Let's pull that black picture back up just for a second there. Yeah, you can see that's just a black lace in there. And again, I think there's so many times I think to myself how much I enjoy sewing. But like here, I think it'd be nice to have a little see-through in the shoulder area. But I wouldn't want it under my bust. That's just me. So here you all, by knowing how to do this, you get to decide where do you want it to be lace and where do you want it to be solid fabric. And I think being able to make all those decisions are just a lot of fun. They're just a lot of fun. Okay. Hi, I'm wondering if you ever plan on designing a pattern for culottes. I don't see on your website. We did have one, Evan Lee's culottes. I'm trying to think of the number, 30, punch in 3015, 3015. If you pull up, if you're on a computer that has a URL, you can't do it on your iPhone, but if you're on a computer that has a URL and just put in any pattern, just click on any pattern, and if you notice the very end of the URL is the pattern number. So just put in 3015. Instead of whatever number is there, just put in 3015. And those, I believe, were Evan Lee's culottes. I think are the ones that came up. Huh? No, not in the fabric. Go to the patterns and do it. Yeah, go to the patterns. And then just click on any pattern. And then the last of the URL is the whatever number it is. And then if you'll put in, well, not a fit to stitch pattern. Any other pattern except for a fit to stitch pattern. That's a fit to stitch pattern too. We're seeing if I'm right on this is what we're doing. There we go. Put 3015 in that. Yeah. Okay. All right. 3015, maybe we took it down. Anyway, we do not have a culotte pattern currently. I have done a webcast on putting together the yoga pants with the yoga skirt, and that's kind of cute. It's kind of a fun exercise to do that. So maybe we'll bring that back at some point, but for right now, we don't have it. Okay, so there was another question there. I'm sorry, I got kind of preoccupied. So 313 is this one. This fabric, let me tell you this fabric. We don't have a lot of velvets. This is that blue velvet. It's just really beautiful. 4519. 4519. Just beautiful little top. So pretty. I just love velvet. These are all poly velvets, and they are the really simplest thing to sew with. In the old days, if you were ever afraid of velvet, most likely it was a cotton velvet. And cotton velvet is just miserable. I don't even know if they have it anymore. It's just miserable to work with, and these poly velvets have really taken over, and they're amazing. Regarding the yoga skirt, 4 inches from the actual waist or 4 inches from the flat pattern. Okay, so I still think you're confused. Either you guys aren't listening, or I'm not doing this well. The hem, the circumference of the hip, is divided into 4 pattern pieces. So say if you're looking at one pattern, if you have a 40 hip, your hip is 10. Okay? Because you're going to make 4 of those. 2 fronts, 2 backs, yada yada. Got that? The hem, if the hip is 10, the hem should be 9. Because on each of those pattern pieces, you're going to take away 1 inch, and that will give you a total of 4 inches smaller at the hem. So the hem is 4 inches narrower than the hip. It's called a peg. Okay? Does that clarify? Hopefully. If not, keep asking. We'll just keep answering them until we get it. Okay. So that's that one. Let's see what the next picture is that I had on here. Okay, the only reason I put this up here is I really wanted you to see if you decide to go head to toe in anything. This is Sequins, velvet. Head to toe is a little bold, and you can do it. I mean, you could always come in and put leggings on. You don't have to be bare-legged. I just wanted you to see that the look. I wouldn't go top to bottom of anything as far as like all the way down to your ankle. So I just saw this and I wanted you to see that if you go sparkle, don't go sparkle all the way to the ankle. Either do top sparkle, bottom sparkle. Don't do all sparkle. That's all. Okay? Okay, this next one. Oh, it's the one I have on. I know you won't recognize it because I have clothes on. She doesn't. Anyway, what I wanted to do was, I love that little zip there. So I just decided to take the sheath dress, which that's kind of close to the sheath dress. And I didn't want to do it as a dress, though. I wanted to do it as, I have jeans on. So we can take a little closer look at what I have on. So what I did is I used pattern 4218. And I used fabric 4515. 4515 is the fabric. It's brand new. We just put that up today. And what I love about this fabric is it's like two-sided. It's probably not really two-sided, but I thought it was two-sided. So what I did is I used the dark side, and then I turned all the facings out to the light side. So they look like there's trim all the way around. It looks like it's a gray fold-over trim when it's not. It's simply the wrong side of the fabric turned out. And then I did the zipper. I just serged it's a princess seam. It's a princess sheath dress. I really like it. But see, like, you know, when I was talking about what causes a garment to look holiday-ish, it's sparkle. Or it's what you wear it with. Like right now I put it on with jeans. But I could put it on with fancy pants and fancy shoes and, you know, whatever. And you just look a lot different than if you just throw it on with jeans. So I kind of wanted you to see that it really can work for now, and it can work for later as well. But I really like this. The fabric is 4515, and it's 4218 sheath dress. All I did was cut it shorter, and then I put the zipper in the front seam. And I really like my little zipper. So cute. Okay? Easy enough. Can we still order Terry's top? You can, yes. We have about 100 sets left. Our goal is to sell them all by Sunday. Can we do that? Do you think we can hold hands and reach that goal? We've got about 100 sets left. They're these two, the 313 and 145. You get them both. You can't buy them separately. You can only buy the two of them. This is a great holiday top, by the way. 145. Another lady we were talking about in the store last Saturday, we were talking about how thin the knits are right now. And they are because the styles are so soft and drapey. And the knits are layered rather than just being worn as a single layer. There's twists. They're feminine. The styling is really feminine. And so you've seen a lot of knots, a lot of twists, a lot of that type of stuff in our dressing. And thin knits do it very, very well. So this was a great time to bring back this St. John's top, this 145, because it has such a beautiful neckline and it's so soft. And then 313, they're together. Okay? Is the facing raw edged or serged? The facing, maybe in Terry's top? Is that what you're talking about? No, wait, we're talking about this dress. Is the facing there? Oh, I'm sorry, the facing that turns out you're probably talking about. Brett, do you think we can come in really close on this? We're going to come in on my wrist, the hem on my sleeve. So you can try to see, I serged the raw edge with black. And then, can you see that? Whereas I just turned it to the outside. See, that's the wrong side of the fabric. So I just turned it to the outside, and so there looks like there's this little trim. I did it here, I did it at the neckline, and then I did it at the hem also. So if I show you my hem, you can see all the way around there, it looks like there's a little trim there. Now the ironing board's in the way. There we go. There we go. And so the zipper comes down, or you can, you know, put it up. You can be as modest or as immodest as you want. That's a little immodest there, but anyway, you can see what I'm saying. Okay? I love it. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. So just before you put the zipper in, instead of sewing that seam together, I serged the rest of it because it's a knit. But before I did that seam, I serged each piece and then sewed it with a sewing machine. I opened it up and then inserted the zipper. Okay, very simple to do. Yeah, and then the hems, what I did is, again, I flipped all, so there's 3 places that you have to finish, the neck edge, the sleeve edge, and the hem. And all of it, I flipped to the outside, serged it, flipped it to the outside, and top stitched. Okay? So that it looks like there's a little silver trim around the whole thing. And I probably could wear it inside out. well, probably not the zipper. Well, you know, it'd be a zippered look. But anyway, because the inside is the silver. And I like it. I just really liked it as a trim as opposed to I used the back side. Who knows? Who knows what's the right side or what's the wrong side these days? Okay, so we did that. All right, what do we got next? We did me. Oh, you guys, this is such a great look. I really wanted you to see this. And it's not just with plaid skirts. It's any skirt. Any, or pant even. It's a print on the bottom and a solid top. And so, you know, with this, well, I'm going to show you this top here in a minute. There's just make a black top. You know, like I could do it with the one I have on. But the print bottoms and that black top, and it doesn't, I don't even think it matters. It does matter. I take that back. It does matter what the bottom looks like. But that's a really nice holiday look. It's a great way to show off a little jewelry at the top. And, you know, like she's just got a little flat on at the bottom. So think about prints and what can go on the bottom that you like, and then top it off with just a black top. I just love the look, and I wanted to kind of bring it. It's a very simple look. It's a very elegant look for the holidays. Very clean. Okay? Do you have any tips on how to shorten a metal zipper? I know you have said in the past you've always left over zipper pieces for cowls. Yeah, here's my zipper right here. I was sewing on it. So this is a separating zipper, and you don't stop the bottom where the bottom stops. I'm behind this ironing board, and you probably can't see because it's got the stop here. You want to take this down where it is. Yeah, so you want to stop, let that be the bottom of the zipper just like it is. So I only wanted the zipper to come up to here, and it was longer. So basically, once it was up here, I stopped it. I stitched this way, and then I just reached inside and cut off the separating portion. So I can unzip the zipper all the way to there, and it stops. So just depending on how much I want to unzip it by, just cut it off. So you don't want to cut off the end you're going to use, because then you'll have to fix that. So that's the regular top of the zipper. I put the top down and then cut off the separating portion is what I did. Okay, so let's go on to the next thing, which is mixing fabrics. It's a kind of a big thing now and for fall, where we're mixing fabrics, and it's fun. It's just really fun to do. It can be, they're mixing prints, they're mixing all kinds of stuff. But I thought we'd kind of start off simple. Oh, you know what I didn't mention is the crystals. The crystals that I said on here. Crystals are holiday. Crystals can be non-holiday, but boy, are they fun for holiday. And I did this little strip here because they're so easy. Sometimes we've had people say, we didn't get any instructions. You just cut them into sections you want. You peel off the back side. You stick them on because they're adhesive. And then you just press that. Like 10 seconds. And then when you peel off the paper, the back of the crystals will stick to the fabric. So very easy to do. So I just did this, and they'll stay. I mean, they'll stay through washing. These are really good. They'll stay. Get them from a guy in New York, and that's all he does is make crystals, and he's really good. So you can wash it. You can do all that stuff. And I put these crystal pages on sale for $14.99 because they're so lovely. They're so fun to work with. You can make patterns. You can make a butterfly. You can do whatever you want. They're just fun to play with. And crystals say holiday to me. I think just that little touch right there is just really nice. So I wanted to let you know about that. Okay, now I was talking about mixing fabrics and how they are mixing fabrics a lot. With wrap blouses, you're seeing a lot of one side being one fabric and one side being another fabric. One sleeve matching this side and one sleeve matching this side. So it's fun. It's kind of fun. And for us sewers, I think one of the benefits is sometimes we have some fabrics that we have a yard of this and a yard of that. We don't have enough, but when we put them together, we can make a great top. And as sewers, a lot of times we actually like the same colors, and so we've got these remains that look good together. They really do match well. that wasn't my intent. My intent was to take these two fabrics because as I saw them next to each other, I just loved them. I just thought they were so very pretty. And then I started thinking, okay, so this is 129, which is called Asymmetrical Striped Front T-top T-shirt. So I started thinking, okay, what pieces do I want to be striped? And then you go through that process of what do I want to do with what? How do I want to change it up? And obviously it's kind of just fun. It's kind of guessing. It's not fun if at the end you don't like it, but I started with a band and I knew I wanted a bias striped band because I love the way they look. So I knew I wanted a bias striped band at the top. So that meant the next piece was going to be solid. And let me give you these two fabric numbers just so you can kind of follow along with me. So this is 44.75 and 45.10. I think the striped is 44.75 and the slimmer, the slinky, is 45.10. 44.75 in this one I used 1 yard of the stripe and I had to use 2 yards of the slinky because of the sleeve. If you change your mind you don't have to, but because the sleeve is full it just takes up a lot of fabric. And I'll kind of turn it that way so you can see. Okay, so going back to kind of how I went through it. I knew I wanted the band, or I really liked the band. The next step was I didn't want the stripe. I wanted that contrast to have the different fabric next. So then that piece meant it had to be solid, and it meant this piece had to be striped, or otherwise it just would have been, because it comes over here, all of this would have been the same color, and that's not what I wanted. So that led me to know this piece, and then this piece I kind of guessed on, the lower piece there. I really like the stripe. I really like the fact that I did the whole back solid, and I did the sleeve. I knew I didn't want a striped sleeve. I knew I wanted, because again, I wanted kind of a dressier look, and I feel like the stripe is a little more casual, and the slinkier is a little more dressy. And I wanted that dressier look. So that kind of influenced my decisions when I went through it and tried to figure out, okay, what do I want? And I absolutely love this top. I've put it on. I've worn it. I absolutely love this top. It will be a favorite of mine. I just really like it. And I like it so much better in two fabrics. I just think it's so interesting. And so that's why I said play. It's just so much fun to kind of get two fabrics together that you like, and then just play and just see kind of where it takes you. And I will say the one thing that is nice is when you have time to play, because that, I know for many of us that's a hard thing to find, is time to play, because playing takes time. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you. You can copy. You guys know you're welcome to copy me. I purposely kind of push boundaries so that if it saves you time and you like it, go for it. You can do what I did. Okay, so that's 129, the asymmetrical striped front tie top. The two fabrics are 44.75 and 45.10. Questions. Let's answer questions. I kind of ignored them for a minute. Just a minute. I remember the URL containing the pattern number in the past, but now it has a page number and not the pattern number. Is there another way to bring up the pattern number we talked a bit ago? So if you're on a computer, yes. If you're on, some devices do not have URLs. So the URL is the little www, that's all that. And what that does is it's telling you where everything is on the computer. So if you have a URL, yes. If you don't have a URL, then you can't do it. But if you'll go into the pants patterns, just pick any pants pattern, like let's pull up 3100. Okay, so go in and click on 3100. You'll see when you click on 3100 at the very end it says 3100.
This is page 128. They're listed as pages.
They're listed as pages.
A little bit different than the fabrics.
Oh, you know why? Oh, because we just redid the site. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. We just redid the site, you guys. We've been doing... See, y'all, if y'all hadn't complained that the site had issues, we wouldn't have redone it. No, that's right. We have Oh, that's right.
It's okay. So just
Yeah, no. You can't. You can't. Used to, you could find something that wasn't there. You're not going to be able to do it anymore. Or I don't know of a way to tell you. I'll talk to my graphics guy and see if he can help us.
is there a way to order 30?
No, that pattern 3015. It's discontinued anyway. I just wanted you to kind of take a look at it. That's all. Sorry. Sorry. That's right. I just got an email on that today, actually. How those pages are being done now. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, we want... Okay. Where's the website to order the crystal? What's the website? Okay, go to silhouettepatterns.com, go to Notions. And if you go to Notions, on the right-hand column, it will say Iron on Crystals. It just has kind of a list of things to find. Just click on Iron on Crystals. It'll take you to a whole fun page of stuff. Okay? That is still there. I looked at it earlier, okay? All right. We are changing an awful lot around on the website. I apologize, you guys. Please let us know where to buy the V-neck shirt, the one that makes a good base. Okay, so go to Fit to Stitch. No. Go to silhouettepatterns.com and go to Patterns and go to 100s and then 313. It's in order. But once you hit it on 313, because Fit to Stitch owns that pattern, it will take you to the Fit to Stitch site. It will take you to where the two of them are together. You can't buy the 313 by itself. Okay? Silhouette Patterns and Fit to Stitch are two different companies. And I know that frustrates many of you because why don't my passwords work? And when I explain to you it's two different companies, you go, oh, that makes sense. Okay, so they're two different companies, two different companies. Just like your password on Silhouette Patterns doesn't work at Home Depot. They're two different companies, okay? You have to hit buy now to get Fit to Stitch. Yes, that's how it takes you to the next Fit to. Click buy now, and it will take you over to the other page. Thank you, Benjamin. Okay, so we're dealing with two websites here, not to make it any more complicated. Let's go back to holiday dressing. Oh, one more. Could I fold the edge of the zippered top? The zipper top. Is this the zipper top? Twice. Oh, you don't have to. Yes, I'm sorry. You don't have to fold it twice. You don't have to fold it at all. I mean, it's a knit. So there's nothing that says you have to do it how I did it. I mean, you don't have to finish the edge of a knit. It looks nice. It looks like store-bought stuff, but you do not have to finish. You could just fold it back and not do anything. I wouldn't fold it twice because a lot of times on a knit, it gets too bulky if you fold it twice. So I would just fold it back. I would not worry about finishing the edge at all and just let it go. Or the other thing you could do is just butt it up, cut the seam allowance off and just butt it up right to the edge of the zipper. Except you'd have to do something up here. Yeah, I would just fold it back and don't worry about finishing the edge. It's not necessary. Okay? Did you mention the fur? No, but let's go to fur. Let's go to fur. Are we all over this stuff? Yeah, we'll come over here in a minute. Okay, so fur. Fur is absolutely holiday. I don't think anything screams holiday more than fur. And I marked all of it down $10 a yard, you guys, just through Sunday. Now through Sunday. This is that Donna Salyer's faux fur. It's amazing, amazing stuff. This has a dart. You'd never see it because the way you sew it. We did a sew along. You guys know how to do this, or you can go back to that sew along. It's just stunning. Absolutely stunning. But so this was a vest I made. And you know, it takes a whole, it doesn't take long. It takes you longer to cut it than it does to sew it. You've only got the darts and the collar. That's it. This is all left. You don't have to finish any of this because it's just the edge of the fabric. And you don't cut it at the bottom. So, I mean, it's just really simple to do. So this is just a great, go anywhere. I mean, holiday, just throw on a fur vest and you're going to be, you know, definitely in the know. So I made a little top underneath. And the reason I did this in particular underneath is because I wanted you to see this fabric. This fabric is amazing to me. I just am in love with this fabric. It is $44.91. $44.91. And so, it's snake. And what I did is this pattern, I'm hoping you can, you can see that nicely. Nice job, Brett. What I did is I put a white, not a white, kind of a flesh toned tank top underneath. I mean, I know you can see the difference, but whatever you wear something like this, you can see the print. So it's a sheer, but that sheer has this beautiful print to it. It's just so pretty. So the reason I put it under the vest is because the sleeves have the same print on them. And so even though it's got the vest on top of it, you get the benefit of that beautiful sheer. And I think something about sheer, says Holiday, and I want to show you something that's really fun, because the one thing that is really fun to do with sheers, we've got all these linings, is I wanted you to see that when you put a different color underneath, how much it changes what the top looks like. And you can really get a completely different top with a different base color. Isn't that cool? So red, purple, blue, all those different colors, just by changing out the tank top, the top becomes a much different look. And so I wanted you to be able to see that different effect. Isn't that pretty? So you can really use it year round, because in summertime you can just roll it up and throw it under whatever. It almost becomes like a sunscreen. We were talking about that the other day, how long sleeves are very much a great sunscreen. They kind of keep the sun off of you. And then you can change the color that's underneath. These linings, if you just make a little tank top with these linings, then you really change up what's underneath. I just love that. Love this fabric. I could not believe when I saw that fabric how beautiful it is. And the snake or this print is patterned. There's about 3 of them on the width of the fabric, so you can easily get the front. And then again, I patterned that off center just a little bit, and I did it on the back also. I patterned it off. I just love that fabric. It's just so pretty, so different, so unique. I mean, there's so many times where I see fabrics like that at the store, and I think, where do you get these fabrics like this? Well, here it is, All right, questions. Let me ask this. Hello, Peggy. Have you ever, or would you consider doing fitting sessions for small groups on Zoom? I have considered it. I have, and I think it's a great idea. I haven't gotten the time to sit down and really, we're like maybe 90% there. But I do think it's just a great idea. I've got to make sure that somebody can't crack in and see people dressing and undressing. There's just a few technicalities on it, but we are working on it, yes. And I thank you for saying that, because I do. I think it's a great idea. How much yardage for a fur vest? You'll need 2 for that fur vest. And the reason you'll need 2, well, I guess that depends on the size that you are. If you can get, whatever you're making, then you'd only need 1, maybe. Oh, these are so pretty. This fur vest is so pretty. Pardon? Depends on your size, either 1 yard or 2 yards. Look on the back of the pattern you're making, or else get some fabric that's the same width. I believe the fur is 58 or 60 inches wide, and then lay it out, just to make sure. Okay? The fur is not inexpensive, so you only want to get what you need. And well, that's not necessarily true. I had a shirt on the other day. I was at the set. We were filming, and it's the one I did. You guys saw it, but I just did. It was a Sally LaPointe, and it was fur just from the elbow down. The rest of the top was just, a top, and I just loved it. Everybody went crazy over the top, but I just loved, with just a little bit of leftovers, I just did like 8-inch wide cuffs on both sleeves. I really liked it. It was fun. Okay, which pattern number is the tank top? 514. That's a PBS pattern also, but it is on the Silhouette Pattern site. So when you go to the Silhouette Patterns, you'll just go to 514. It'll take you to the Fit to Stitch site. Okay? Okay, I want to talk about this little baby over here, because I want to look at the next picture here. Sorry. Got a little sidetracked. This is really, plaid is really strong for fall. It's been strong. It's been around now for a little while, but it's not going away. and it's just really popular. So I think that some of us are, remember my goal tonight was to give you ideas, but also in doing that, I really wanted to keep them simple. I know y'all know how to make a blazer. I know you can't make a blazer, but my goal was to really get a few things made for the holidays. Put them in your closet, kind of have them ready, or, wear them now, but wear them with jeans or switch them out, do whatever. And so in doing that, I decided that the plaid, which is very popular, could be simpler. It could be a halter, and it could be an unbias. So we had this fabulous fabric, and it's plaid, obviously, and it is covered with sequins. And I decided that really the way to do this was 619. So 619 is Jessica's favorite halter. I absolutely love this on. It is so cute. And then I started thinking about, okay, for the holidays, what could you pair it with? And there's so many things. This is where I said, this is 83. This is the one-piece wrap. But I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to show you how it just really changes up. This is 201, and this is the Nick and Zoe's kimonos, whatever it is, tie. I mean, look how cute this is. The halter just becomes a great base to just doing so many other things. I could do the 915, which is Hugo Boss's cardigan. I could do a cape. It just really forms a great base to do all these fun things with. And so I think that when you make that base, it's got clear sequins all over the fabric, but it's just a wonderful little piece of fabric. So really easy to sew with. I broke a needle on my serger though, not on my sewing machine. I broke a needle on my serger, which is interesting to me. Okay, let's answer some questions. I want to make a romper by combining a pant with a tank top. How much extra body length would I need? That is going to be up to you. I hate to tell you that, but it's styling. So a romper, technically that when you say romper, it automatically suggests that it has a drawstring waist, and there's usually 2 inches that is called for blouson. If it goes straight, that's usually considered a jumpsuit, and there's no ease. I mean, there's no extra length. It just literally goes from top to bottom. So by you saying that you want to make a romper, that says to me you want a tie at the waist, you want that blouson. So now you just have to check with yourself, do you? But if you do want it, you need to give yourself about 2 inches, and that's because it'll come up and come over about 1 inch each way. So 2 inches will give you what you need, and you should like it. Okay? If you are doing it, I would put in a seam and add 3 inches. And that way you can take out what was too much. And add it to the top. Don't add it to the bottom, because otherwise your crotch will hang down 3 inches, and I don't think anybody wants 3 inches of ease in their crotch. Okay. Can these fabrics be sewn with a regular sewing machine versus serger? This is a knit. Yes, knit. Yes. The knit I have on. Yes. Knit. Yes. 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 The blouse is a woven. I sewed it to a knit. So this one edge would have to be, there'd be a little bit of finish on this, but everything else, yeah, you don't need a serger. You can always, sergers are, I know despite popular belief, sergers are play toys. They're not necessary in sewing by any means. At the store the other day, we were talking about the sewing machine. In the store, like in our front window, I have a few little displays of sewing machines I've acquired over the years. And my mother, the sewing machine I learned on is in the window. And my father bought it for my mother at the New York World's Fair, and I believe it was 1963. And we were talking about, I made everything on that machine. I mean, it goes forwards and back. It has fancy stuff, but everything was done on that machine. I didn't even own a serger until post-college, way down the road. So yes, everything can be done on a sewing machine. Do not believe for a minute you have to have a serger. It just makes things nice. Sometimes It's a little faster because the machine literally goes faster. The serger goes faster than the sewing machine, but you can do everything on a sewing machine. Okay. On the halter, what did you use at the neckline? Elastic. This is just a black piece of elastic that I trimmed down. Oops, I missed that. And if you cut in between the ribs of our elastic, it won't fray. But if you don't cut on exactly, it'll, the little things will stick out. So just make sure that you're slicing right between the ribs. But I just use the elastic. And it's comfortable, and I like it. And so I cut it to be like a yard long. And then I just loop it through here. And loop it through the back. And then I put it on. And I leave it out, like right here, and I adjust it to how tight I want it to be. And then I put a pin on it, and then I come back to the sewing machine, sew it, and then I turn it to where it's now inside here. So that this is smooth, and this is smooth, and you can't really see how I got that exact length that I wanted. So you can start with I start like 30 inches, about a yard, and then just go through that process, okay? Pretty easy to do, and very easy to do by yourself in front of the mirror. You just keep pulling it up, and once it's done, you stick a pin in it, and you're good. Would the sequin plaid work for the peg skirt? Absolutely. And now this is a woven, though. This is a woven, so if you use it for the peg skirt, it'd look adorable, but you'd have to put a zipper in so that you could get in and out. It doesn't, I've got a little bit of gathering here, but the sequins don't gather really well. This is a little bit, it's got a little bit more body than some of those knit sequins. This is a woven sequin, just so you, FYI. Okay. What did you line the sequin halter with? I've got, in the pattern, there's the halter. There's a halter inside. And I went ahead and I used the same, I just use the same. This is not soft, you could always put something else, but I just used the same fabric. I just stuck it inside. It's amazing how hard it is to get into it. You could have used something else. I just didn't, because I did think about it, and I put it up against me, and I thought, this is okay. I'm okay with this. But however, having said that, whenever I wear a halter, I actually wear a bra. I don't wear a halter, I'm too old to wear a halter without covering things. So I wear a bra. I'll just wear like a little top like this over the halter. I wear the halter for the look of the halter because I just really like the look. And if a little bit here shows through, it's no big deal. My bra strap's, still over here. Okay? Could the plaid with sequins be made into Megan's coat? Adorable. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Be really, really cute. I'd put some black in there. Pipe it. Black buttons. It'd be incredible, yes. Yeah, this sequin, I don't know who it is. I'm suspect. It's one of the designers. It's got to be expensive. Just the amount of work that's on this fabric is just really, really beautiful. I don't know. Maybe, does it say on the fabric who it is? I'm not sure if it does or not. Okay. Whoever it is, it's expensive. And whatever price you're getting is ridiculous for this. Is 1/4 for chest a compulsory? Is it compulsory? Or is it changed according to the dress pattern? Is 1/4 for chest? Help me out here. Just rephrase that question. I'm not sure.
That's the original question. So
Yeah, just rephrase the question. I'm not sure exactly what we're talking about here. All right. So everybody, let's see. I think we went through everything. I looked around tonight before we started, and I thought I had a new blouse that I love this fabric. It's so beautiful. I have a blouse. I have this cool little tank, this, sweater. I love this. I love this one. I've already worn that one. Like, I'm a lucky girl. What could a girl want more than 6 new tops on a Tuesday? Has the halter pattern ever been a pattern of the month? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think I'd do a halter pattern for pattern of the month, because I really don't feel like, I feel like pattern of the month should really be something everybody could wear. And I don't think everybody wears a halter. Even though I think, again, I say it's a great look. You can wear a bra. It doesn't matter how old you are. I still think there's people that are just uncomfortable with that concept. And so for that reason, I would not do a halter as a POM. I would err on the side of caution on that. All right, what was the other question? Did we get that? Okay, so we are going to, I think we're going to wrap up. Do you guys have any questions in general? We got through all of our, not all of our filming, but most of our filming at PBS. Series 10 is in the bucket? What do they say? In the wraps? Something like that. They say. I can't remember what they say, but I know it's said. But anyway, that's a wrap or something like that. Oh, it's in the oven. That's what it is. Thank you. It's in the oven. Anyway, it's in the oven. It's actually probably in the warmer because it's got a lot to go through. But APT, which is American Public Television, has formally accepted it. They have slated it for January 2022. Those are all massively popular things that have happened, so we're thrilled and excited. We would like to, we're going to extend this sale now until Sunday. So that means that, and tomorrow we'll send out an email that has the front cover, what it looks like, because the designer got that all done, and we'll have all the 13 episodes listed. And we're going to get that up so you can see what it contains. So hopefully by Sunday we'll have sold 200 pre-sale copies. That's the goal. 200 pre-sale copies is what we need by Sunday. And one thing I will be telling you that I'm kind of excited about, I told you about this astronaut. We had the space, we had a real spacesuit on there. He's talking about all the fabrics and everything. But I think even one thing better than that we're filming in a couple weeks is in Dallas. There's a company called Envision, and Envision is a lighthouse for the blind. It's a company who teaches blind or visually impaired skill sets. Well, what this particular company does, it teaches them how to sew. So I go tomorrow to meet with them. We've met with them one time, but they're going to tour me through the facility. How they teach, I said, I got to find out, I got to see with my eyes how they teach people who are blind to sew. And so that's one of the stories that we're sharing with you it's an episode. What we wanted to do is, instead of filming it in studio, we really felt like we needed to film the whole thing on location. So we're filming the whole thing on location, and we're doing that in a couple weeks. But I'm just so excited to share that whole story of how they do all this. And of course, they're thrilled that we want to tell their story. So they're just wonderfully warm people, and I'm really excited to go over there and meet them and, let you see their story. So that will be part of the series also. So we'll really hit hard that fundraiser now through Sunday night. We just are almost begging you. Well, we are kind of begging you, please. The 2 patterns and the pre-sale and the fit to stitch will be great. Okay, do you deliver to Canada? Do you ship to Canada every day? Every day we ship to Canada. Oh, it's in the can. Oh, that's what you're right. There we go. Thank you, whoever. Thank you. Is your fur vest the black or mosaic? That is the mosaic. There's a black vertical and there's a mosaic. This is the mosaic. But they're both beautiful. I actually made a jacket with the black vertical, and I just felt a vest was really fun, and it was a fun way to deal with just a long sleeve top. What is the pattern included with the new series? We have not done a photo shoot on that new pattern, but it is a blouse and it is stunning. It has kind of a V-neck. It's a ruffle little blouse. The ruffles come down the front, and the sleeve has an asymmetric double ruffle on the sleeve. It's just a beautiful little blouse. You slip over your head. It's fitted but not tightly fitted, and so it's simple and yet beautiful all at the same time. We don't have a photo shoot. I can't give a glimpse of that, but I promise you'll love this pattern. I can't do that. I think you'll really like this pattern. I have to be careful because you'll say, no, you promised, I don't like it. But anyway, that comes with this series, and we'll mail them both the beginning of January. So as soon as PBS releases that series, we're allowed to ship. Okay? Is the fit to stitch pattern with 1,000 series a surprise? It's not a surprise. It's simply that because we're just not allowed to release them from, we just have so many levels of rules that we have on us, and we're just not allowed to do that until January. But it is a blouse. It's a V-neck blouse, ruffle, beautiful double ruffle down the front, comes down here, and then the sleeve is a double ruffle also. It's very beautiful. I don't know if it's a Hugo Boss. I don't remember who the original is, but the blouse is really pretty. I do think you'll really like it. Look at the pattern for 921. For 900 series, it was pattern 621. And you didn't get to know it until after you liked it. Until after you got the series. But a lot of you had to pay separate for the pattern because you didn't get the pre-series. If you get the pre-series, I'm going to give you a good pattern, you guys. You ought to know me better than that. And you get it free. You don't have to order it. It just all comes in January. Okay? And we love your support. Thank you very much. Okay, would you show the back of the PBS collared shawl V-neck tee? Yes, this one right here. I will. So there's the back right there. It's a little seam. Then there's facing that goes down in the blouse. I don't know how deep it is, somewhere in there. Isn't that pretty, you guys? Beautiful velvet. Okay, any other questions that I can help you with? It's been so much fun. Sewing is fun. Thank you all. All right, we'll see you Thursday. And if not, the store will be open this Saturday. Come see us at the store. Our farthest customers ever came in last Saturday from Colorado. They were on a road trip from Colorado, and they stopped in at the store. I couldn't believe it. I was so excited to see them. But anyway, they had a whole bunch of stuff they were doing, but they came to the store. It was so much fun. So we'll be open this Saturday. If you're on a road trip, you got to come by and say hi. All right. Bye.